It's the World Championships. Anything can happen, and things have been happening on the side of Native Red. Cloud9, they have their work cut out, but both these teams want to stay alive in this tournament. Your elimination finals starts right now, and we're heading over to our casters. We have Walshy and Golden Boy looking absolutely amazing. You two old men brush up well.
Old. Damn right we do, baby. Hey, you know what? It don't matter at the end of the day. We're here at the World Championship Seattle. We have to determine who is going to be the team that faces off against Optic Gaming. Of course, I'm your favorite bald commentator, Golden Boy, joined by your favorite old commentator, Walshy. I'm kidding. We're both old. But the joke is, though, well, actually, there are no jokes up here because these two teams are absolutely on fire. But Native Red, they kind of got a little bit of a beating, Dave, in that winter bracket finals, and they learned today.
They learned real quick that Optic cannot be touched thus far. So what I'm really looking for out of this series is one of these teams to come out strong.
Yeah.
Because if these teams come out flat and seem to be making a lot of mistakes, you know Optic are going to pounce right on top of that.
All right, well, this is it, Seattle. Let me hear ya, because it's time for the elimination finals between Cloud9 and Native Red. Two hungry teams, ambitious for an opportunity to face off against one of the best squads in the world, looking to cement their legacy here in Seattle, Washington. And we're going to kick things off with a guy who has made a legacy of his own in Halo, and Stellar, who's going to kick things off here. And out of the gate, Eco starts with a kill.
Yeah, Stellar,
3 down,
along with his teammate Eco, were the 2018 Halo 5 World Champions. Can they make another grand finals here? We will find out, and only time will tell, but that's the best start you can hope for, is getting all 4 of those members of Native Red down and just holding down this tram position. Such a smart spot for Bound. Forcing these members of Native to charge on out before they get killed. Delivery.
Hey, that's nice. You know, a little care package sent your way, you know, right from the sky.
Don't forget to tip the driver. Then also, for those players out there who win a lot of money this weekend, don't forget to tip your casters.
That's right. Don't forget to tip us as well. But now Bounce looking to put the pressure on the player inside of Red Room. Able to stop him right in his tracks. It's going to be Talik. He goes down, and this was a very positive start for Cloud9 out of the gate here to be able to establish control of the Arcade Hill. And Native Red are just looking for some answers, any solutions that they possibly can have here. Soul Snipe's going to get tucked away and has to back out of this one. Druck's going to get hit with that Stalker. And this damage that Bound is putting forward, Dave, is so important because it's going to prevent them from being able to make these meaningful pushes. But despite their best efforts, though, they still manage to make some progress.
Yeah, he's not just locking in on the first target and solely focusing there. Bound is a damage machine. He's a turret. He's going to lay out as much as he can before his life is gone, and that's going to be the first hill going for Cloud9.
C9 looking so strong. Now remember, we did see this song and dance before. Native Red Cloud9 faced off earlier. It was a reverse sweep. Those first 2 games, as Clutch said, were very strong for C9. And then, you know, maybe they did let go of the gas pedal a little bit. But Native Red's the type of team, they're very disciplined. And I think a lot of people have been sleeping on them, and I get it. They're the younger players. Not a lot of people know who they are. They're an unknown commodity in the HCS. But I think at this point in time, we have to respect the accomplishments that Native Red have been able to do here. And to get to this point with a group that really had quite the season.
What a good group of coordinated grenades there from Native Red to take out that player top C stairs. That was the opening they needed. Now, who is going to secure these rockets? It's going to be Penguin. While his team still has Hill, he was able to sneak out over, grab rockets. Now he's decided what's his safest route to high ground. You can't be caught at bomb stairs that entire time.
That was a beautiful rocket from Penguin. And you can see the kill column there for Native Red, pretty dire. As they're only going to have about 9 kills, make that 10 with that last one. And on the opposite side of that, I mean, Eco's got 9 of his own.
Eco is just slaying out so far. One stat we had heard, so this isn't related to Eco, but on Bound's end is Bound had one of his worst performances against Native Red earlier. He had 0.94 KD when he played against Native Red. However, when we saw him that last series against FaZe, he was 1.21 in KD. So this balance really does rest on his shoulders. Even though we see someone like Eco standing up right now, it really comes down to how is Bound performing and how he's playing with his teammates right now. And if you look at that KD, he's 3-1 right now.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well for himself here. As now we're going to start to see Native Red add a little bit here. It's a 2-0 lead for Cloud9, and if you blinked, you missed it. That's how fast C9 were able to secure those first 2 hills. Soul Snipe in the back of the field, though, right here toward PD, running right into a very weakened Eco, who goes down. Stellar's also going to be weak inside of PD, but he manages to get one kill. Druck has to shut it down, and I'm really looking to Druck here as well. He was still instrumental for this team yesterday, and I think he's just going to have to be one of those players that steps up at the moment.
Also, this match, more so than any others, you're going to see such effective use of those thruster packs when these players get in the hands. They were all so dang good at Halo 5. So when you see someone like Stellar or Bound or Eco, any of them grab that thruster, you're going to see them just do those perfectly timed maneuvers and dodge those headshots.
Talik, unfortunately, was falling victim of a rocket there after being one shot in a fight toward Cafe. That's going to open up a lot of the field there and allow Cloud9 to start to make this push. And if Stellar, I was going to say, if Stellar could get to the back field there by Alley, it could cause some problems for Native Red, but that's not going to be a problem. We got ourselves a game. Native Red are right back into this one as they're able to get a point on the board.
It all comes down to these next slays. This is also a very isolated hill. If you're able to get those slays, you can get this Bulldog Hill with ease. Manny, or I should say Druck, has to decide when he wants to be poking out and laying down shots, or when he wants to hide and grab that free hill time.
And ideally, would have loved to have been able to have some help from Soul Snipe there. Couldn't get there fast enough off of the spawn. Does get cleaned up as well. Talik's having a pretty decent game thus far. He definitely revved things up. It was a slow start for him, but Talik is one of those players, as me and Tony have noted multiple times, he's a space maker for Native Red. He'll push the opportunities, and he'll create that opening for his team to start to pounce on the weakened targets. But if Talik's slaying, it's scary.
Such a great prediction shot there from Manny, understanding that someone's going to push down those stairs soon. Also, distributes the use of weapons. Doesn't decide that he needs to have Bulldog and a Stalker Rifle. Instead, his teammate is now over at A Tower with Stalker Rifle, while he's in the close range scenario with that Bulldog in the hill.
Soul Snipe's going to be so low there, but a cleanup from Talik maybe brings this one back. 3 players down for Cloud9. So close, no one there to challenge, and we're right back in this tied game, 2-2.
And it looks like Cloud9 are stepping Tram, but not very comfortable as the push is coming in. You see Penguin trying to fight off from all fronts. Players come from Commando, players come from stairs, and he's just waiting this one out. He realized that they're not going to be able to comfortably set up in this bomb center hill until he can clear his back.
Eco gets himself another rocket. Cloud9, another objective there, but unfortunately for him, that doesn't work out quite the way he would have wanted there, but thankfully Penguin's there for the cover-up. Talik going in for the challenge, but the Stalker Rifle's gonna hit him like a hammer. He has to back away though, Talik, and he gets cleaned up by Stellar. Penguin though, the help from C9 is absurd. Just when you think you have someone backs against the wall, someone else from C9 swings right in to pick up that kill.
And look at how much these teams and players are going to vie for slays first before jumping this hill. Now that Cloud9 has the numbers advantage, they're going to hop on in, and they know there's only one player left. There's 2 strategies you can go for here. You can jump somebody in the hill and send the other one flanking out, or you can both hop in the hill and double team wherever they're shooting from.
Yeah, seems right now they're opting to go for is maybe to try and zone out the hill in the mid. They have Eco there for coverage, but no real bodies to get inside. 2 players down for C9, 2 down for Native Red as well. If they're Soul Snipe looking to push in here on Neon Street. There goes Druck on the kill feed though, able to get a kill.
And this is a little troublesome from Cloud9. You saw Eco trying to help out his teammate Bound, but nobody from the Cloud9 roster was getting one of those more prominent positions, getting over towards B rail, maybe getting up towards balcony. Instead, you get Eco towards bottom tram and Bound over at the Bulldog. You really need to transition into stronger positions to have that trump card when it comes to the bottom center hill.
Yeah, maybe this could actually be the position that he needs, right?
This is
right
a
by
great
the station,
spot.
right by the tower in the back by PD. He's got teammates inside now. You can see the members of Native Red starting to push out on the arcade side of the map, but Eco was not prepared for that player to push him from PD, and he's gonna have to back away.
Here's the thing is, even though he wasn't prepared, his position was still strong enough to be able to react to that. That's how good these pro players are, is even if it's not the spot they're looking for, they know that they can scurry away in a worst case scenario if somebody pops out or gets a fortunate spawn.
Smart call by Manny as well, not to just get too ambitious to go for that Cafe push. He knew that the player was there, but he was not healthy enough to try and challenge for that fight. Mid control still going to be available though. Bound, scoped out at the worst possible time, but thankfully for him, the VR's true. Lands the shot though. Stellar gets another rocket, but maybe Native Red could do something with this. Instead, it's not going to happen. It's Eco again, and I can't imagine you would be able to win a game of King of the Hill if you're not controlling the power weapons here, Walsh.
Eco 2 for 2 with those rockets. Unfortunately, hitting himself on a couple of them can be a double-edged sword there, but ultimately making sure that they don't fall into the native red hands.
Found in the hill. Now another enemy of native red in this particular instance is going to be the clock. If C9 were to secure that, they could just play the Slay game the entire time. Beautiful kill there by Stellar. They have to force him out of this one, native red, and C9 for the time being have the coverage necessary, and that is going to be a capture for Cloud9. They go up by 1 at the 1-minute warning in this game.
Now here's the deciding moment for Cloud9. If they have the Slay advantage like they have 3 down right now, do they jump in and cap this 4th hill, or do they let the time run out? And it looks like Cloud9 opts to just jump in the hill. I don't disagree with this play for a couple reasons. One, if native red are able to get the slays across the map, they can jump in and get a long-standing time in this hill. And secondly, if you know the other team is playing time, you can play a little bit slower. You can take your time. You can take some longer flanks. You can take your routes. And so right there, I like that Cloud9 give themselves both options. If for whatever reason they need to jump out and slay, they can, and time's gonna dwindle down. But they also give themselves a win condition if they are out slating native red.
Yeah, and also too, I mean, look, if it ties up, right, we go to next point wins. I'm sure C9 doesn't want to allow that to happen, but they are also going to put the pressure onto native red to have to respond, have to get into that hill. There's no choice for them.
Yeah, it's also sometimes difficult to go out of that defensive mode back to offense. You're saying, wait, I thought we were running on the clock. Now I guess we got to go back into offensive mode and get this hill. So I don't disagree with this play, but look at this time ticking up here for native red. They about 50% done with this hill. Rocket's coming up here soon, and Druck wisely backing down, realizing that 2 of his teammates are down, and he needs to stay alive.
Yeah, that's Penguin with rocks. Coming around the mountain, here he comes. He's got 3 players in front of him. Could end up ruining the days of native red here. That's 1 kill. Looking for the second as that player inside of red trying to tuck away. Gets both kills for the double. Goes down, and now Bound's going to be inside of the hill. Talik has to respond from the ledge.
This is a different scenario. Now with only 20 seconds left, Cloud9 do not want to cap this hill. Their best opportunity is just keep native red out. Every single time you step foot in that hill, the timer stops. So all Cloud9 need to do is play defense for 8 seconds, Golden Boy.
Bound's going to get inside of the hill for a moment there. 8 seconds remain as they're going to now try to jump inside. Manny gets to stop. Now it's all native red inside of there, but instead of red, they're seeing blue. They just got to capture this one and force this into overtime. So close, but Penguin's going to go inside, and he manages to get at least 1 stop there. But native red are going to tie it up at the critical last moments.
2 players, no shield, just dance around those pillars, barely stay alive, and native red bring this to a tying hill. It all comes down to Tram here in overtime. 2 minutes back on the clock. Let's see who takes this.
Oh, doggy. I like what I'm seeing here from native red. Talik with the dog is going to bark his way to a kill there onto Eco. Got a body inside of it. Making some decent progress, but Cloud9's going to be tucked in the back of the base now, looking for an opening, and I'm trying to see the forward players here. Guys like Manny, they're going to look to try and cause a disruption once Cloud9 get inside of the courtyard. He's going to be a real difference maker here, and he's able to get a kill, which is massive for them, but does get pressured by Bound.
Native red have everything going for them right now. They have the numbers advantage. They have the position in the tram. They had rockets coming up and nearby them. So right here, this is going to be crucial. They don't want to give up this lead that they've secured thus far, and Cloud9 finally break through and have control of tram.
So Cloud9 are through. They also have the rockets again. Surprise, surprise. Bound only has 1 left in the chamber, though. Still, lots of progress, and very weird situation to see Cloud9 in, because if they were to get outslayed inside a tram, that could potentially spell doom and disaster here in game 1 for C9. But Bound's able to secure that kill. 2 players are going to be located down low as well. They look to get inside a commando and force the attention here, but Eco is going to struggle outside.
He was trying to take that flank route to the dumpster and get support over on commando side, but these crucial 1v1s are all being won by native red. This next setup can absolutely win them the game.
But they have 2 players pushing inside of the commando. Talik's got to be a god here. He thrusts around the corner. Penguin goes in for the challenge again, and Penguin's able to win the battle. He goes inside of the back of Tram, gets that that player. That's one shot, and it's down to Druck in the forward position to look to cause some problems. Manny in the overlook as well, but no one for C9's in the hill quite yet.
No one in the hill quite yet, but the kills are what's most important because every single kill that Cloud9 acquires here is going to force members of Native Red to spawn over at Cafe or PD. They have to charge across the entire map.
One shot for Native Red to break this setup. They have to kill Eco here, and he's in a beautiful position around the flank, removes Taulik from the equation, and they can't get there in time. And Cloud9, after a grueling game one, managed to get that first win. And you have to wonder for Native Red, how many times are you gonna get so close, yet be so far away, Walshy?
Those ones are the heartbreakers. It is so tough. I would honestly rather lose a hill game like 4-1, 4-2
yeah,
versus rather lose it 4-3 at a moment when they had the setup and they had the chance. I actually don't know how Cloud9 broke into that final Native Red setup.
Yeah.
I really don't know. They must have done pizza jump over Commando or something, because when I looked over from the POV we saw,
yeah, it was Penguin. They went dumpster into Commando. They had two players there, but then while Penguin was making that push happen, there was pressure coming in from the driveway as well. So it was literally like a perfect push that you could have asked for there. And then once they were in with the Stalker rifle, and there was just no way C9 were gonna get out of there.
Well, I know that one was a fast one, but don't you worry, folks. This next game's gonna slow right down.
Oh, yeah.
We got ourselves a Catalyst Slayer. Things are gonna chill out a little bit. Gonna take a couple breaths. Yes, there'll be some fast moments, but for the most part, these teams are gonna play a bit more calm and collected.
Now, if you remember from yesterday, Native Red sent FaZe to the lower bracket on this map right here. They are a great team in Catalyst. They get the map, they've adapted to it quickly, but so is Cloud9. If there's one team that can adapt on the fly, it's certainly gonna be them. You're of course gonna wanna see how they can take advantage of the opportunities that they'll be presented with the overshield, with the skewer. But you're right, Dave. It's gonna be a bit of a slow one at times, and we are right back into the action with game two.
Looking at Eco, checking out his teammates' POV to see where these players might be pushing from. Look at that. Winning the damage battle across the map against Manny, and actually gets picked. That's an Eco challenge. You generally aren't doing those one-shot challenges towards the same person that you were fighting early on, and Eco has broken behind enemy lines. Unfortunately gets hit by a grenade, and great movement by Druck to secure that kill.
Massive kill for him, but Penguin's on the follow-up. It's only gonna be a one-kill lead early on here, but this overshield could pay dividends for Cloud9. Taulik is waiting, watching as he's in the more forward position as he usually is for Native Red. Looking to disrupt the setup here of Cloud9. You can see Eco also applying that pressure on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, Penguin just holding down that line of sight, realizing that two of his teammates are pushed up, and then Native Red are likely going to retreat as long as his teammates are winning that battle and laying down the damage.
Keeping this one close. And he knows the player's gonna be right behind him. Does manage to do a little bit of damage with that grenade there. Oh, see you later. What a kill from Manny. The young man stays alive here at Catalyst, but Eco challenges him instantaneously, and that is the danger of C9. When you think you have a moment to relax, in comes another guy and just whoops you up all kinds of different ways.
Bound was also so fast to secure that kill. He was chasing him down so quick, but Manny, like you said, practicing social distancing, making sure Bound keeps his space and going off the map.
Social distancing, always important, even in 2022. That being said, there's no social distance with this scoreline here. It's a one-kill game, as expected on Catalyst. The action slows down to a crawl. Bound waiting for the prime opportunity. He's got the crosshair placement right on the corner, and he nails the shot on Taulik, who was unsuspecting, but let's be honest, he had to have an inclination.
A little bit. I mean, his teammates had already pushed on over towards that way, so you'd expect for somebody to get caught by that line of sight before it. And Bound's flying in. Whether he has an overshield or not, you know he wants to be aggressive. He gets the melee trade, but does not get the kill. Soul Snipe eats away his entire overshield.
That hurts. Undoubtedly, that hurts. He did so much to get that overshield on his own, but while all that was going on, Native Red were getting the kills elsewhere, which kept this one close. Thankfully for Cloud9, though, They've managed to be able to put together a better lead here, but that nade was a homing missile. But it's okay though, still a 2-kill lead. I'm gonna keep saying that. It's okay for right now for C9 until it's not, because Native Red has a tendency to sneak up on you.
Yeah, this is just so back and forth. A lot of times throughout these skirmishes, you expect one team to pull away significantly because just the snowball effect that takes place in Halo. You get a couple down, you're gonna win more fights and more kills in a 4v2, but the skill of these players to be able to trade out a kill despite being down in numbers advantage is just so impressive.
5-kill lead for Stellar and the boys in Cloud9. What does Native Red do? What are their solutions? What are their answers to the great Cloud9 equation? How do you stop this team that have found themselves in championship matches time and time again in Halo Infinite? You're asking a team of young bloods that effectively do the impossible here, and Cloud9 will most certainly not make it easy for him. And certainly not this guy. Stellar cleans him up with the commando.
And the difficult part is taking down Cloud9 twice. Sure, you might be able to catch him off guard once. Yes, Cloud9 know that Native Red are incredibly skilled. However, going to this tournament, you know Cloud9 aren't studying Native Red. They are studying the likes of Optic. They have their sights on them, trying to figure out what their weaknesses are. So now that Cloud9 have been awoken, we're seeing the effects of that. We're seeing that Native Red aren't able to get away with some of the plays that they were yesterday.
We all know that this Cloud9 team, 4 monsters. And another thing to note here as well, just like it was in the Streets game, Walshy, same thing here, same song and dance. You're not controlling the power-ups, you're not controlling the power weapons. How can you expect to win the game? It's another overshield grab for C9.
Every single time they've been grabbing OS, but more importantly, they get right in the action with that overshield. They smartly and wisely just push right into the base, get right in front of Native Red members, and they have to deal with it. Sure, there's some ineffective trades. We saw that one from Bound earlier that didn't go as ideal as they'd like, but over and over again, they get right where they should be with that power-up and do so much damage.
Bound got a little bit of intel. He heard some slides. They have no idea that he's behind him, so Soul Snipe now making a call. I need help. Where are you at there? But Soul Snipe manages to get away like Houdini. He's out of there, playing with Bound. Even though does manage to get that kill against Manny, couldn't find the initial target there. He ends up falling with a trade, but not bad to be able to pick up those 2 kills, at the very least, to keep this lead going.
So many of those stalemates, so much information is gathered by those footsteps. I mean, some of these players, they should be picking up those Halo Adidas a little bit quieter.
They should.
On the map.
Those NMDs are nice, you know? Get a little soft step as you're making your way across the map. Not for me, though. I'm just too big.
Oh, yeah, you're bat-footed the whole time.
Bat-footed the entire time. You hear me coming from a mile away. It's a damn shame. 6-kill lead for C9. Plenty of time left on the clock as the action slows down. Manny, cross map, looking to locate where these C9 players are, but they're actually right in the faces of his teammates here. Massive grenade blows up. It's going to harm Eco quite a bit here. Bound goes in for the help, but that's, again, just right back to it. You get the kill, you get the trade. Good for C9.
Good trades, and are we going to see Native Red get away with the West? No! That is 2 members going down. Taulik, Soul Snipe, both out. Can Penguin deny this from Druk? And yes, that overshield is just a curse right now. I think that one fell off the map, and it's probably for the better.
It was a cursed overshield. We all know that when an overshield has a hex on it like that, it's simply not worth grabbing it, no matter how valuable it might be.
Down to the final 10 kills here. Cloud9 have had effective push after effective push. There's too much time on the clock to fully turtle up here, but it feels counterintuitive. Do you push as you have this lead?
Yeah.
Do you sit back as it hasn't been your style of play throughout this match? We're gonna have to see how Cloud9 react to this, and look at these flanks here from Soul Snipe, getting these effective skewers, diminishing that lead down to just 4.
Stellar was not ready for that haymaker around the corner. I'll tell you that much. Now as Manny and Druk play forward here, Cloud9 kind of staying back a little bit. Respectful insta from Druk. You never know if a player is actually going to be located tucked between that pillar there, so it makes sense to send that there.
Yeah, but as an insta for somebody waiting to jump up from that curb, what'll happen a lot of times for setting up double teams is somebody's either sitting back flag or somebody is sitting right there at the corridor, and you
Wow.
can jump up and support them as you're watching a secondary angle.
Can we just talk about that particular moment right there? The way that Penguin flew out, anticipating someone being there, but also his teammate. You think to yourself, oh man, you're gonna get a lot of intel, and then in comes Penguin, like a bat out of hell. Or Penguin out of heaven. I don't know. I don't know where Penguins reside. I'm assuming they all go to heaven. Anyway, the point is though, that C9 play their advantages so well, they communicate for each other, and they're constantly playing with their heads spinning in circles because they always know, especially against Native Red, that's what you have to do. And yet another overshield grabbed by Cloud9. That one's not going to lead to too much though, but look at what we have here, Dave. The game's getting a little closer. C9 though, if they trade, they win.
Yeah, the kills are just being traded out, so every single time Native Red secures something on the board, Bound and crew just answer right back, and that's been the story throughout this game. Cloud9 have gotten that little bit of a lead, and we've yet to see Native Red get 3 members of Cloud9 down and roll this into a larger, into a larger lead.
Penguin knows that the push is going to come to him. He's got 2 nades that have to deal with this there. He's going to weaken the player, but Talik's able to get the kill. But it's immediately traded out there, which is exactly what they did not want. Number 49 in the books is Manny's going to go in for the fight. He's one shot, but he manages to succeed and stay alive to fight another day. But no one from C9 is there to connect. 4 kills for Native Red, 1 for Cloud9.
Native Red need to play this perfectly. They don't have to worry as much about somebody around the corner doing a melee trade, but still you have to worry about these players running around in duos. No mistakes allowed here from Native Red, and this is the great weapon to have in their pocket. Manny could potentially get a pick here and allow their team to have an opportunity to have that numbers advantage.
It's not quite a sniper rifle, but it could get the job done. As Manny plays around the corner. Penguin's waiting this one out, and you can hear a pin drop here in Seattle besides my loud voice. That's the pressure.
You can also hear Golden Boy stomping around here in Seattle.
That's very true. Very loud. I'm sorry, everyone.
GB heading the stage. Yeah, I hear him coming.
Can't help it. Even the NMDs can't help it. But look at this. To a snail crawl. Because they know what's on the line here. A chance at glory. A chance to become a Halo World Champion. Only a few have managed to achieve such a lofty goal.
Some people have managed it multiple times, GB. We won't go to that right now.
It's very true. It's very true. You're one of them. I'll give you your flowers.
Thank you.
No problem, buddy. I care about you. But
this
no action yet. 1:45 on the clock. This is intense.
Everyone's eyes is somewhere in the vicinity near their west, but not directly on it. They know that Native Red aren't just going to jump right onto it. So they're trying to see who's poking out, who's trying to get eyesight on it. But now we're actually starting to get into a time frame where if another 30 to 45 seconds pass, Cloud9 really can play out the clock. They can try to hide and not have all 4 members die.
Stellar's at the flag ramp. Eco at the mid ramp. Looking for the pincer in case they push this way. Callouts are being made. Stellar has some vision. That was going to be his ping to the left of Eco, as you can see on the screen. 1 minute remains on the clock, and everyone in Seattle, as I turn around and look, just glued to the screen. And everyone also now apparently turns to look at me as well. That's a little awkward. I apologize.
These players,
Here we go.
There's the OS,
Here we
and here's
go.
the opening. Goodbye, Druck. Hello, Cloud9 up 2-0. That is the strong start that Cloud9 need to roll into the series and potentially roll into the grand finals.
If you blink, you might have missed it. C9 just needed 1 frag, and they were able to get it. And Druck was left out there by his lonesome with no real options. And C9 go up 2-0 here in this series. 1 step closer to fighting for a world championship. Native Red now have to do the impossible again. Because they did it once, and now they have to do it again. They have to reverse sweep Cloud9, but it's not Championship Sunday, as Blaze likes to say, or Championship Saturday rather. It's Championship Sunday. I even screwed up that joke. See, guys, your fault. Blame Onset as well. They can't do it. Good God, Dave, it's gonna be so hard.
They've made it so difficult for themselves, but like you said, not impossible. That game was so close. Both those games were incredibly close. I mean, a 1 cap difference in overtime, a 4 slay difference there in Team Slayer on Catalyst. It's difficult.
Oh man, the tension is the highest it's ever been. The lion's share of a $1 million prize pool is at stake here, $400,000, and your name in the history books. And for these 4 players in Native Red to set the stage for them, they came into this season known as the Kansas City Pioneers. That's done and dusted. They're now Native Red. And they sit upon this stage at the precipice of greatness, but standing in their way, it's a team that has been there and done that, and they're looking to take guys like Penguin, guys like Bound to the promised land. But that was quite the game, and we were right, Dave. It's one of those matches that goes down to a snail crawl, and that happened a few times that whole game too.
It slowed right down. Here was that melting of the OS, and Bound just turning away a little early, just assuming that Melee was going to get the finish, so that is difficult. One other play that we're not going to see on this one, we'll watch this last kill and I'll highlight the play I was going to say, but look at this ending here. It slowed down perfectly. Every single person knew that as soon as you ran into one opponent, you're going to have somebody else go pop out. There's no chance that you're disconnected from your teammates entirely here. But who was going to make that move? We all know the playmaker here from Cloud9. It's going to be Bound, just dropping in on this OS and then charging in to finish Druk. Look at all these just traps set. Yep. Every single player just has all these different traps set, waiting for somebody to poke around a corridor, and then Eco can pop on out and help with that secondary angle.
Yep, and that was actually going to be kill number 49. And then it was only going to be Manny who manages to stay alive there. And I mean, you know, again, as we look at how this played out, the timeline's kind of getting changed up a little bit here in the replay, but I think they're trying to match it to the music, you know? But the point is that Native Red, even if they were able to get that overshield away, and who better than Bound to be able to secure that kill for them? That's why they signed him on this team. Even if they were able to, they needed to at least get some value out of the skewer early on. They needed to find something, because asking for just a 14 wipe against C9, yeah, good luck.
They had multiple opportunities where they're down by 4 kills, and they just weren't able to close that gap. One play I wanted to highlight from Penguin earlier that I thought was genius and is literally in the book, The Art of War, is dividing the opposing forces. So what happened was Manny was pushing around a corridor. Rather than just first BRing him, he just starts chucking grenades in between, right behind Manny. Yeah. Manny had to commit, pushing out through that corridor, and didn't have any backup coming from behind unless they want to charge their grenades and be one shot. And so it's just ingenious where it's like, guarantees a trade, guarantees you get to isolate at least one player and secure that kill in a time where he was down in the fight.
Yeah, very smart play there by Penguin, right? And, you know, but you're really looking for a lot of these Slayers to step up. And two players that we're going to put a highlight here to, it's going to be Stellar as well as Taulik. Now, something to say, though, about Taulik is in that last game, while he may not have necessarily been in that upper echelon of the kill column, I believe he only had 5 kills that game, he also had 10 assists for his squad. So he was putting down a decent amount of damage, and you can see that in his damage output overall. But Stellar has simply been magnificent from Orlando till now. I feel like this guy's playing some of the best Halo I've ever seen him play, and that's saying something because he won a world championship.
Yeah, we keep highlighting just these replacements. We're like, oh, Bound is on this roster now in place of Renegade. He's got to be the one that puts off the most kills. And it's like, Stellar's like, hey, I'm here this whole time, and guess what? I can do that anytime I want.
Yeah, whole time. So he's a beast on the sticks, but so is Taulik, who's had for all 4 players in Native Red, the greatest tournament that they've ever had thus far in their professional Halo careers. Short-lived, but you know what though? I did want to, since we have an opportunity, give a huge shout out to the Native organization. Actually met those guys last night. Organization started in February, by the way. So I think this might be a record for you know, fastest glow up in esports history. Has to go to Native Gaming. So huge shout out to those guys for supporting these boys. Also a big shout out to Jack and the guys over at Cloud9 for always looking out for the C9 team. But here we go, folks. 1 game away for Cloud9. They could end it here and now. But Native Red have done this before. They have reverse swept C9 in this very city, on that very stage. The name of the game is Oddball. Win 2 rounds, and you lock the W. Let's get right into this and start off with Taulik.
very surprising that we see somebody actually grab those plasma grenades over at Hydro. I mean, how many times do we see that just get blown up right off the start?
Yeah.
Is that either some studying here from this Native Red roster, knowing what Cloud9 are going to do? Because I did see a differing start for Cloud9, just kind of going flying out from elevator side and putting that instant pressure on Camo.
Well, now that Native Red have just a few points on the board, they're looking to add a few more to the column here. Let's jump into an Astro listening with Native Red.
He's going back with the side.
Long one now.
Yeah, grapple, grapple, tell him, grapple. Yeah. Grapple weak. It's up right, watch out. Watch top right, Kevin. Yo, Mikey, I'm gonna go right, okay?
Alright, I'm up.
There's like 2 top right.
Come in, I'm coming with you.
Yeah, one's glass still. Glass sniping, Kevin.
Blue pipes. Yeah, Mikey.
Kill CJ. I'm trying to kill CJ.
I got you.
Ball guys one. Yeah, I'm jumping up.
Grapple. Sniping at Batman.
Yeah, just sniping top right, top right in Chevron. He's needles.
We ballot jets. Have shields. This guy needles also.
One in needles. I'm trying to the very red.
Top right.
Red stairs.
Weak ball. All
Single stack. Go orange.
Guys, I'm ripping. I'm one shot. They might
Watch out.
change. Yeah, red stairs.
Which ever serious?
I don't know where he is, man.
Snipe grapple there. Snipe grapple.
I'm about red. He has grapple.
Red stairs right now.
Chop red stairs.
Off the nade. He's going long ball.
I can maybe shoot this.
Alright, yeah.
One's weak.
Manny on ballot, Jenny?
I am moving C.
Single stack weak.
Yeah, I'm moving C. You guys take that out. Long weak.
Silo weak. Silo
Flat. And there's another guy bottom mid. Two flat. Another guy C flat. Long haul. Last long haul.
Looking.
Wait, spawn.
Sticky weak.
I'm looking at the
And grapple.
I can't.
Top red also weak.
Watch sticky.
He's 100 in the corner.
I'm trying to play for scam.
Where's Camo?
I need it.
Watch this spot.
They're all one shot.
There's a guy.
Watch sticky. Sticky with camo weak. So watch this spot. Sticky with camo slide. He's C-surge. Watch out.
Okay. I'm gonna go red, okay?
Alright.
Eagle team.
Camo's in tower. I just saw him. He's in tower.
Yeah, C1.
I'm going red then. I'm going red then.
I'm down here.
Yeah, top glass. One of them.
Alright, then.
I need C2. Yeah, I'm about to jump out C2. Yeah, weak C2.
Yeah, I'm red.
He's weak.
He's long. Tower one.
I'm down.
Yo, I can grapple.
At the beginning, when we went into that listen-in, Native Red had the ball on their side of the map. They were controlling it, and then it all fell apart. And you could hear it too, right? So many players one-shot, but C9 keeping the attention of Native Red occupied elsewhere. They could not clean it up. All those opportunities they had.
Yeah, the one-shot callouts, those are really good to have when you have additional angles on the map. But you saw Native Red all combine towards C-Plat, towards Hydro. You really need somebody that will break out over towards Turbine or Control. Some additional angle to be able to finish off those players. Cloud9 just playing that position perfectly.
Good aggression here by Bound to just continue to put the pressure on to Taulik as the ball is going to be available. No one in the long haul to back up Cellar here, but he's going to be okay with that for right now. He knows exactly where these players are actually going to be coming from. Native Red are going to respond and bring this ball back up inside of Gold, but they only really have a few players here with Cellar lurking about and one player looking to push Gold. Really, he's just going to leave Soul Snipe by himself to have to try and hold this one off. He's going to do a soft play ball, toss that to the middle of the map there, put pressure on the Cloud9 to pick it up, but really, they weren't able to do much with that.
Yeah, that was a questionable ball rotation. I mean, you have somebody still over at Pipes, over at Gold. You really need to deal with that threat. And what that ended up doing for Native Red is they were down a BR on the map. And so Cloud9 just slowly chipped away at that, got the kills, and now they have control of the camo, the ball, and every position they want on the map.
Another camo grab, another power up for Cloud9. Name a more iconic duo at this point, because it feels like Native Red just have not been able to get themselves any of those coveted power items on the map time and time again. And with that camo out, it's just going to put Native Red in a real particular position to have to locate and take out that individual. So they can't really move around the map freely because you never know if you're going to get popped up from behind and you just get wiped out.
Yeah, just look at the distribution across the map here from Cloud9. Just position themselves perfectly, making Native Red be able to clear out so many different corners of the map before they can push on over. And that's 3 down for Cloud9. There was also 3 down temporarily for Native Red. So look at that Harpoon setting up for Penguin to knock it down. And Eco's just gonna try and hold down these pipes.
Oh man, Eco ended up getting blown up there, but a lot of work was done in order to slow that one down. The ball's still gonna be available. Right toward the batteries. As Bound sneaks around the corner. Only 10 points remaining here for Cloud9. Big BR battle, but Soul Snipe's gonna be able to come out on top. Certainly not unscathed though. And there goes the ball grab by Manny.
All 4 down for Cloud9. This is a chance for Native Red to fan out across the map, find out where these spawns are. They know that elevator side's clear, but I feel like you're also not seeing enough angles right now.
Nope.
You have nobody from Native Red over towards top gold to punish these pushes toward top center. Instead, they only have an angle here from the Mangler side. So this is disastrous here for Native Red. They did not fan out and secure positions across the map. Let's see if they can just use their 6 skill to work themselves out of this one.
No, also has 6 kills. This guy, Eco, and he gets a double kill out of that one. That's gonna be another camouflage grab for Cloud9. Only 5 points remaining before they lock away this first round. Double kill there, taking out 2 players for Native Red. Don't matter. Cloud9 put the first point on the board. Now Native Red backs against the wall.
Yeah, and Stellar's over there at the elevator thread saying, hey, does this one go to the lobby? He's like, no, this one actually takes us straight to the grand finals. One more win, and Cloud9 are gonna see themselves in another grand finals like they've done every single LAN event this year.
What a run this C9 team has had. Legendary, to say the least. The consistency from this team. And I feel like this tournament is a little bit different, right? They were sent down earlier, and you can tell they're angry. They want blood. Native Red just seem like they're simply a stopgap in their overall story at this point, but Native Red certainly could not just be a footnote in the history books. They have to become the history books in order for them to get to a grand final, to get to that coveted opportunity to play for a world championship.
They were playing perfect Halo at the end of yesterday. They're going to need to play perfect Halo to get out of this situation. Totally possible for these guys. They're such incredible players, but we are seeing them being stopped at all turns. Manny desperately trying to stop that ball run, but Stellar winning that 1v1, getting the ball, and look at the setup rotation.
Kind of a similar position that Native Red were in, but you're seeing the difference in that they're covering the angles faster.
Bound's getting a little late over to the bat ledge, a little late, so you see them spread out a bit more. You notice how when Native Red had the set, they were just hunkered down over at Elevator, over at Turbine, just all those spots, but we're gonna have to see how this pays out, because I also don't think that Cloud9 had the strongest of setups there. It was solid, but I've seen better.
Oh, what does help out though is when Eco puts down a sizable amount of damage here, gets a kill as well, stops struck. 2 players down though for C9 is Bound. Wants to make plays. Shock rifle onto Talik, doesn't quite have the angle there. Talik was kind of jiggle peeking a little bit around that corner to see if anyone was going to be coming inside. Oh! And he hits him with a clothesline from hell, but he now needs to locate Manny here. Maybe this is going to be the shock rifle shot of the century, but it doesn't work out for him. And then Cloud9 get the camo again, Dave.
Bound behind enemy lines, doing it once again, doing such a good job, buying time, laying down as much damage. Even when he missed that shock rifle shot, he still switches to BR and gets 1 shot on that opposing player. That is the difference maker at this pro level. If you go into a fight against an opponent who has 1 BR shot in them, those pros will win that every day.
Eco, hello. Why don't you say hello to my shock rifle? Oh no, it doesn't work out. That's embarrassing. That's okay.
Barely missed that one. Also couldn't tell if that other teammate was close enough. So what'll happen is if a second player is close to a shock rifle player, that charge is distributed amongst 2 players.
That is true.
I'm expecting to see that more in Season 2 of Halo Infinite. And before I go on too much of a rant of what I want to see in future seasons of Halo Infinite or House of Dragons, let's focus on the action at hand, because Bound is once again the last one alive. Sees that shock rifle, gets out of Druck's hand, and look at this movement from this player. Even when he somehow misses a little bit, he is such a tough kill.
That man moves around like a spider monkey. Someone's got to kill him at some point in time. Kill him with fire, do something. Because you can't keep letting Bound get away with that. the shenanigans. He's still alive here, and in all of this, just impact. A double kill for Bound. Beautifully played there by the movement mastermind.
We've called him the breakout player so far this year, and he's showing it. 26 kills, 13 deaths, and doing everything he can to give his team this massive lead. We want to see a strong performance on one of these rosters, and I'm absolutely seeing it out of Cloud9 and Bound.
73 points and counting. As Penguin has the ball over toward the Hydro side of the map. Is anyone from Native Red in the vicinity to stop? 20 points remaining before Cloud9 punch their ticket to the grand finals. Camo's gonna be up for grabs as well. See Talik and Stellar fighting down low, but Bound gets a double kill off camera. Here comes Struck. Has no other choice but to drop down because he was gonna be so weak. And this is it. 5 points remaining. He's gonna go for the rotation. Cloud9 are right there. The intelligence from Cloud9. And it's their destiny. It's their destiny to go to the grand finals here at the World Championship. As they get another opportunity at Optic Gaming. And for two of those players, an opportunity to become a two-time Halo World Champion. But they have ran through the entire elimination bracket in one legendary run.
Applause all around there for Native Red. They played their hearts out this tournament. One of the many big upsets that we saw coming out from that roster. I mean, just falling short, it has to end at some point. That's the nature of the competition, GB.
That's right. The Cinderella story comes to an end for Native Red, but what a run it was. They have nothing to be disappointed about. I don't think anyone had them in the top 3 of the biggest tournament of the year after such an up and down journey for those 4 young men. 5 as well when you count our coach up there as well. So much to be proud of. But you talk about ups and downs, you got to talk about Cloud9 losing Renegade, everyone questioning whether or not this team has the passion to compete at the highest level. And I think Cloud9 has answered all of those questions today. They have the passion, they have the determination. They didn't need Renegade to go to a grand final in Orlando. They didn't need him here. And now they're playing for the lion's share of $1 million.
That was a $110,000 match right there. Native Red walking away with 110K, and this grand finals gonna decide who walks away with 400K or 220K. But taking a quick look at that recap, games 1 and 2, it was a 3-0, but those games were so close. Game 3 was dominated from Cloud9, but taking that out of the equation, those first 2 games could have gone any which way.